In a recent video, I let my friends drive my Mercedes SL65, but there were two in particular who never got to drive it. Doug, who's going to be doing a video on this very shortly, and somebody else who owns a Mercedes and is insane. It's Crazy Nick with the SLR.
What's up, buddy?
Always make a great entrance, Nick.
Thanks for having me. I'm sad to hear you might be selling this fine vehicle.
Well, there comes a time when I'm ready to move on to a car that has 10 cylinders and a manual transmission. But you are the last person I wanted to drive this car for a very specific reason. And that's because you also own a range-topping Mercedes-Benz product of the Recession era.
I'm very excited for this. I must admit I had some sleepless nights right when you got this and you sent me your horsepower and torque and the price you paid for the vehicle, and I thought I just made a big mistake.
I am very curious to hear what you think about this car. Love it or hate it, I'm really excited to hear.
Likewise, I'm very curious to hear what you think of it as someone who's driven a lot of really cool special cars. This car's always got a bit of a mixed reaction. So someone like you, who's a little more tasteful, a little more refined, I'm hoping you enjoy your time in it, but I'm also a little nervous.
I am excited though. So let's dive in, let's talk a little bit about your car, we'll talk a little bit about my car, and then we can go drive. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds great.
SLR. Now on paper, there are a lot of similarities between these two cars, but there are a ton of differences also. The big difference to me, of course, is like the engine. They chose a supercharged V8 for this car versus a bi-turbo V12 for that one.
Yeah, which is the opposite of what you would expect. You would expect the range-topping expensive one to be the V12 and the more accessible one, if an SL65 is accessible, as a V8, right? Like usually V12 is the more expensive one.
I think I understand why though. The whole focus of this car was getting its weight down because carbon fiber chassis, carbon fiber body panels, and the result is this car weighs just a little bit over 4,000 pounds, and that car weighs about 4,500 pounds. So 500 pounds is...
Yeah, neither are what I would call lightweight,
no.
But
no,
yeah, it's better, it's better.
It's an improvement. The other thing I think I realized is that the way these cars deliver power, as I think you'll find out, is very different. Superchargers are great because they're instant, it just hits you. That car, you have to spool up the turbos. They're pretty small and it's a 6-liter engine, so you gotta spool them, and it takes a second, but then it delivers it like a freight train. And the result is that this car makes what, 617 horsepower?
That's correct.
Like that, and 575 pound-feet of torque. And that car's at 604, a little down on horsepower, but 738 pound-feet of torque, which is a lot. It's a lot to overcome, even with the weight difference. One of the other things that really surprises me is stuff that this car doesn't have. So walk me through this. So do you have adjustable suspension in the SLR?
No.
No. Do you have park distance control, like parking sensors?
I stick my head out, look around,
Okay.
but no.
Does it have navigation?
No.
Are the seats heated?
No.
No. Oh, are they cooled?
No.
Massaging?
No.
So
They're power.
Okay, they've got power.
They're power, yeah.
Your roof is powered, correct?
Most of the way, then you gotta manually latch it in here.
So in the 500 pounds they took out of us, they really took a lot of functionality out of it too, it sounds like.
It's funny, I never thought of that as a weight saving thing. I always thought of that as just sort of like a, either it was like a purpose built, we don't need those frills, or it was just old enough that it didn't have the features. But I guess these are the same year.
But it retains, we have the same climate control panel, the same panel to adjust all of the windows, the same panel to unlock everything. They kept all of that stuff, but took away all the fancy, I guess, grandpa comforts of that car. All right, let's open the hood because this is one of my favorite things about this car.
I'm not going to help you. See if you just figure it out.
All right, it's been a while since I've done this. I have done this before. All right, and then you just lift it up and there it is. Oh, the M155 V8.
The downside of this, it's such a cool party trick that it opens forward like that, and you really get to appreciate all the engineering, the carbon fiber that goes all the way around into everything. They did a good job making the engine bay look like a visual focal piece of the car. But when we were replacing the alternator and you're trying to get in there, you keep hitting your head on this, and it's a little trickier to work on as a result.
Okay, so this doesn't have a service position like mine.
This is the service position.
Take it off is the service position.
There's the double hinge thingy, you could probably remove it entirely. And then the other big thing that it's famous for is because the whole thing is carbon fiber, you can't just put a jack under it. It has to be lifted with special jack attachment points. If you lift it wrong, you could crack the chassis and total the entire car.
Okay, so despite looking like a Mercedes, it has some of the exotic car BS.
McLaren did more than just breathe on it. They also put their special British touch on the car.
Man, the engine is really in there. It's like all the way
Yeah,
back in the bulkhead.
Well, you can see the wheel stops right here, and the engine's, I mean, it's
truly mid-engine.
Truly mid-engine. Then my favorite part is this guy right here. It looks like a plastic trim cover. That's actually your air intake. So the Mercedes logo at the front is where all the air gets sucked in. And when you drive this, you'll hear it is all supercharger whine. The exhaust, which is right down at our feet, you don't hear a whole lot of it, and I think that's the best. Probably as quiet as your car if I had to guess, but the supercharger whine is like all the noise.
So cool though. Dry sump V8, which is everybody thinks it's an M113K. It is not. It is a very different engine from that car, from the SL65. It also, I found out this car cost 3 times as much as the SL55 did new. So this car was, what, about $500,000? When
yeah, I think I found a sticker for it of $495 or something.
I kind of have the basis of understanding of this car, but again, this is what $500,000 bought you in 07. Let's go take a look at the SL, walk you through that car a little bit.
Let's do it.
Nick, welcome to the SL65. This is what the other side of the coin looks like.
Yeah, tell me about the bargain market grocery outlet version of my car.
Well, the man's car with more cylinders and more torque. This car, it's hard to believe. Like you said, it is ultimately an SL underneath. But this car is proof that like they just let the Germans go crazy every once in a while. They let their engineers kind of do something nuts. But the biggest engine they have in a pretty normal car, and that's exactly what they did with this car. So up front, 6-liter V12, but inside, every like creature comfort you can think of. Heated and cooled massaging seats, navigation system, decent sound system, power retractable hardtop. Everything is covered in leather. Now, although that car cost $500,000 new, this wasn't cheap either. The sticker price on this particular car was $193,000, which wasn't nothing. Not $500,000, but not cheap. The purpose of this was just refinement and smoothness.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that may surprise you, if I have to guess, I'm really curious to drive that car because that's more focused on handling. I think I would call that car like a super GT. This is a straight GT car.
Yeah.
But it handles way better. That's the one thing everybody kept saying. They think it handles way better. So I'm curious to hear if you think it actually does.
Yeah, when you said man's car, I thought, yes, old man's car. So I am curious to drive it and figure out how athletic or not athletic it is.
One thing that is different, go ahead and pop the hood. We'll take a look at the one thing that is not similar, and that is you're down 4 cylinders on me.
With your poor man's doors.
They're not, that's true. The door,
I love the doors.
Like
I know that's like such a stupid, cheap gimmick, and they make like kits for hinges, and you could put Lambo doors on anything, but they do feel cool.
They do. There it is. Voila. The M275 6-liter bi-turbo V12.
What a big boy.
It is a massive motor. And I can do one more thing that you can't do. I press this little hinge here, and it goes in the service mode.
That would have come in handy a couple weeks ago when I was stuck in Arizona. There's literally no room for anything here. I mean, in terms of just accessing things, it is tight.
The German solution for this is we'll just take it out of the car.
Yeah.
That makes it's easy when everything's just right there in front of you.
Must be nice to be rich. Us SLR owners wouldn't know.
I love this engine. I'm really excited for you to experience it because it is just, I think it's one of Mercedes-Benz's finest engines. I actually think between these two, you have 2 of the best engines the company ever built. You got the M156 V8 too. You got to have the 6.2-liter NA V8 at some point in your R63.
I think it'll happen.
I believe in you. If anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Nick. But all right, it's time to trade keys.
I am excited for this.
I'm very excited for this. Well, beautiful. All right, well, thank you,
Enjoy.
sir. Let's go. We'll let you drive the SL65 first, and then we'll hop behind the wheel. The SLR.
I'm excited.
All right, let's do it.
I am excited for this.
Brake keyless go, so you just put your foot on the brake and hit the button.
That little whir of the engine starter is actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
and then it does give a nice little plurr.
It's very distinct. Like it's recognizable.
I do have to say, just sitting in it, it is comfortable. It is familiar. There are definitely differences, and I will say, having gone over all the features tech-wise that you have that I didn't, the advantage now is that some of it's like I don't have a screen that looks outdated now. Like it's kind of the lack of technology and the time has actually accidentally become a benefit in the current time. Steering you will find is wildly different. Mine is incredibly heavy, almost like it's broken. Yours feels like assisted and much easier. But like you do lose a little bit of that, like you're fighting my car.
Gotcha.
Got a little torque, a little torque.
Yeah, a little torque.
Driving a little rough.
Used to it. I understand you're not used to having this much. I get it.
Oh, yeah.
You're not used to waking up those extra 4 cylinders. I understand.
Wow, actually, pretty nice there. Again, the brakes are very different. Mine are like super bitey and aggressive. yours, like the steering is a little softer, a little bit more assisted, more reasonable, frankly. Like mine feel like slightly too unreasonable, but
interesting.
It is not slow. But you're right, you press the pedal, you wait a little bit. Mine does that too, and I think that's a function of the automatic as much as anything, in the sense that like it takes a second to downshift.
Yeah.
I'd say your downshifting on the paddles is like mine too. It's not snappy, it's not super responsive, it's not awful, but wow. I expected not to like this as much as I am right now. It sounds pretty good, like much like mine. I think it's got like a underrated noise to it. It's not like a Lambo V12 where it's like, everyone stops what they're doing and can't hold a conversation, or it's obnoxious, look at me. Like, it's a very nice sound, but it's subtle and you got to kind of listen for it and savor it and appreciate it, versus just like get punched in the face by it. Oh, I do like this, buddy. It feels nice for sure. Like it doesn't feel old man to me. It is definitely more subtle in every single regard. Looks, feels, sounds, etc. But like it's sort of like an underrated car where you come into it with low expectations and then you're pleasantly surprised. Versus a car like mine, I think you come into it with pretty high expectations because it's so striking and big and there's so much said about it, versus like these cars have kind of been, I wouldn't say forgotten, but like you don't hear much about it.
No, they're not coveted. I would put it that way. They're respected.
Yeah.
Every car person I know who's seen this car is like, "Ooh, it's the V12 one."
Yep.
Even somebody today, the random guy with his dog, noted it's like, "Oh, that's the V12 one." You got the 12. Yes, exactly. It's like that's pretty wild. How would you characterize the?
Sorry, I can't help it.
No, I know you can't. What are the like immediate differences that strike you between the two?
It's definitely smoother, quieter. The suspension is a little softer, which has a lot of benefits. Like, this is a more pleasant ride, versus mine feels like very frenetic and like aggressive and responsive. Yours, you can like, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but like it suits you well in that it's like, it can go fast, but it doesn't necessarily like to be rushed on that same level.
And I think that's actually one of the things I don't love about this car, is that around town, I think it's actually almost too sedate. Until you do that.
Oh, and a little pop there at the end. Yeah, it still breaks tires, mine does too.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, like I do like that it has that very split personality of like the refined gentleman. But then if you want to go, it's like, all right, I'm down. Like, let's do this.
Yeah, it loves it.
Oh, that's addicting. I can see why you like this, and I've always admired these cars. It was kind of like one of those things, if Kenan doesn't shut up and finally buy one, I might do it, just because I've always wanted to know how cool it is. And like, I'm so happy you did it, and I'm so happy you did it with this one.
Well, and you're responsible for this in a way.
Yeah,
you were the one who like found this car and was like, "Can I buy this?"
Well, someone DM'd me saying this seems like a perfect car for you, and I'm like, it does. However, I'm not in the market. I know someone who is, and lo and behold, this delayed your Viper plans by a couple months.
But it made me fall in love with this engine.
Yeah.
The M275. It's like, I don't know. I think this is its best application, is in this car, because the CL is a lot heavier, bigger, older platform.
Yeah. And the fact that they put these in G-Wagons and S-Classes is kind of absurd.
Hilarious. I think those cars have more sense of humor, but this one is...
Oh, I love how it pulls.
One question I asked everybody in the video before was like, if you had to pick one word to sum it up, what word would you pick for this car?
I would say stout.
Stout.
It's not like overly aggressive, ambitious, but it's like you tell it where to go, it goes. It does everything incredibly well. Like, so it's more than adequate. But it's also not like a sledgehammer or like overly like rip your face off.
Totally.
And it's so solid. Like, it feels solid, it drives solid, it's comfortable, the suspension is nice, the brakes are nice. Like, everything is just like the right, nice all-arounder car. It does everything well without like overly indexing on any one particular metric. Without spoiling any of the fun, the SLR, and I know you probably drove one a long time ago. I don't think you've driven mine, but...
I haven't driven yours, but I have driven several of them.
Mine, you can feel the McLaren influences when you drive it. If you've ever driven like a 765 LT or 720. Like it's how the like throttle response and some of those things does feel like very I don't know, it's hard to explain other than you will feel it when you drive it. It's sporty's one, not the word I'm looking for, but yeah, it is.
Okay, well, cool. All right, well, let's switch off the mighty V12. We'll end the tour.
Thank you for letting me drive it. Yeah.
Man, you have an SLR.
It's got a keyhole here, oddly enough.
Yeah, if you need it, but you don't need it. You just
it's at the same place.
You just press the button.
But why couldn't they have done this on mine?
A great question. Well, all right, let's hop in the SLR. Let's put up those billionaire doors. Let's go for a drive. All right, we're in the SLR. I haven't driven one of these since before COVID. It's been a while.
All right.
I think I've driven 3. I picked up, I worked at an exotic car dealership. I think I picked up one from a client's house. I had to take one in for service. And then one I moved at very low speed, which is where I was most irritated with the car. Because the brakes were just like...
And the steering are not great in low speed.
Not great at low speed. You have to be kind of moving and going for it. But instantly it is a much cooler place to be. The shape of the mirrors, where they're mounted, how the doors open, the smell of the leather is so different. Because I don't know if they use weird leather or whatever, but it smells more like a McLaren. It smells like an exotic car. I don't know how to phrase that properly, but you know what I mean. Well, no, you don't.
I don't have a great sense of smell, but I do smell it, especially with the roof up. You know, you've got Alcantara. I mean, there's a lot in common with your car, but also enough different. You just, much like the car's visual elements, you kind of have to know each car and compare them side by side to really appreciate the differences.
Definitely.
Maybe like a $100 bottle of wine versus a $30 bottle of wine. Like, if you're doing a blind taste test, you might be like, yeah, they taste pretty similar. Then like side by side, you're like, oh yeah, no, I get it.
The other thing I forgot was your brake pedal is floor hinged, so it goes away from you like an old 911.
Everyone complains about that. When you get used to it, it's not as big of a deal. And I do think it kind of like, it keeps you more involved and like paying attention to it because it does feel so unique and different.
It does.
So it changes the driving dynamic, even though a lot of people claim to be for the negative. They just haven't spent enough seat time to get used to it and then like kind of start to enjoy it.
As few have, if we're honest. All right, cool. Well, hand me that key.
Oh, did I not already do that?
And we'll fire up the SLR. It is funny, yeah. Some of this is all the same. Like, it's funny what they changed and what they didn't. But this is cool. I wish mine had a cover on it.
Yeah.
That does add a little something to it. Oh, such a different sound, though.
It really is.
That is one of the other things too. It is just so different.
What I insist is this car, you need to push to really feel it. So I've got you in sport mode, which is kind of an aggressive throttle response. If we have time, you should go on the freeway. If not, like at least make sure you take it to red line once.
Well, the ride quality instantly is also very different. It is much more sports car than it is GT. I think Super GT is the correct expression for this car. Because your love of it is that it's so drivable. You can take it pretty much everywhere. Go to Arizona and back almost effortlessly. With the exception of the alternator, but that's just an old car thing. Oh. That supercharger whiny is good.
Isn't that cool?
To get into it, yeah. Wow, yeah, it is much more sports car than GT car.
Yeah, that's where I think you could start to feel the McLaren influence, because Mercedes is used to building comfortable, stout cars. McLaren is used to building like aggressive, raw
race cars.
Yeah. And the throttle, the brakes.
That is a good.
So the brakes are really touchy, but if you think of a race car designer, they want the brakes to be that way. You should be using on a racetrack a brake like an on-off position. Like you hold off braking until the very last moment that you can get away with it. You hit your brake point and then you hit the brakes really hard because you only want to be braking for as little amount of time as possible.
So the other things that strike me right away, the structural stiffness of the car. It is a much stiffer chassis and it feels a lot lighter. Like I noticed the difference, like the turn-in is like, I can just like do that with it. The SL is not that way.
Well, again, that steering is also like much less assisted.
Much less assisted and substantially more precise. The noise is good. I do like the way the brake pedal is hinged. It really gives you more control over it being more progressive.
Yeah.
And like you can it's a much more fine control.
Yep. It just takes some getting used to, and I think what hurt this car was that so few people bought it, so few people drove it, that really the only opinions out there were those of car journalists who spent maybe 20 minutes tops in the car and then were formulating their opinions. So to them, it's like, oh yeah, the brakes stand out to me as a weird feeling. And it's like, well, you just haven't had enough seat time to acclimate to it.
I'm adjusting to it already, but it's like I can adjust it. It feels like a percentage at a time.
Yeah.
Like I could put like 3% braking if I want to be that specific with it. The SL is like a normal car where it's like you do it more in like 5 or 10% increments at a time.
Yep.
It just feels more honed, I think is the word I would use. Wow, but yeah, it's so capable. Like you can tell the limits on this car are really high. Well, yeah, I like the brakes. That's not something you hear someone say about this car, though.
Yeah, no, I like the way. And I like the steering too, even though initially I was like, "Oh shoot, Hoovy sold me a broken power steering pump car."
It drives smaller than it looks.
Yeah,
it does kind of shrink around you when you drive it. It is a big car. Like the hood is just so long, but it feels like it's very easy to place. And I just love. The noise in person is so much better than in any video.
It's really hard to capture.
It's hard to capture. It is like, it does sound like thunder is the best description, but like thunder from a distance. But then you...
I love that when you let off the gas, you hear that like at the very end too.
Yeah. It is interesting. It does want to shift gears a lot.
Yeah.
Like on its own, like it feels like the transmission is designed for like fuel economy or something. Like it's trying to be conservative. But
we'll put it in the manual mode and force you to keep it where you want it.
All right, here we go. Wow. It's big, and man, the brakes, they're good. You do have to use them, but they are good. I love you see the little wing go up.
Oh yeah.
When you get on it.
The wing, the air brake, you really do have to like pretty much slam on them, but it goes.
It goes. Woo! Wow, the chassis is so good. It's so stiff. So stiff. I'm really surprised at that. I was not expecting it to feel that way. I was curious if this car delivered the supercar experience. Yeah, given its price point now, it's a bargain compared to its competitors, but it's still a very expensive car.
Give it a go. Go, 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 go! I'm always surprised coming from a stop how easy it is to chirp the tires, but you tip into your throttle more responsibly.
I do. Yeah, it's not my car. All right, let's go down to first. Wow. Wow. You know, I was so curious about this engine being in this car. I think the other reason they picked it compared to the V12 is the savagery.
Yeah.
It's not
savagery is a good word.
Yeah, if I had to pick one word to like explain this car, I think I picked two. I would say surprisingly savage.
Yeah.
Or surprising, I think would be probably the best word. It is because you just think it's going to be an SL, and it is so not an SL. It's an SLR.
That's right.
How many times have you ridden in this car?
Not many.
Not many, yeah.
I think I have ridden in it as a passenger once or twice, but not much.
How's it feel from over there?
I trust you. Very few people I would, but I trust you.
That's very, very kind. This is a delight.
And that's why I put 3,000 miles on it in like 4 months, is that it is such a delightful car to drive.
I have to say, when you went from the Mercy to this, I was a little sad because the Mercy is such a crazy experience. However, this is still pretty nuts.
Yeah.
And it just gives you, like you said, that layer of usability that the Mercy absolutely does not. It puts a smile on my face, that's for sure. It's funny because you can tell they come from the same era, this and my car.
Yeah.
But the approach to get to that point could not be more different. Like they were built for very different customers. It's very unique. I think it's obviously nobody has access to cars like these. Very few people do, but like it has to be experienced to be believed. And I'm glad I get to review it, like see it with fresh eyes again, you know, after all this time.
Especially spending so much time in a similar car, right? It helps you appreciate the differences.
Yeah, they are related in badge, and that's about it.
Well, that's good. At the very least, my wife will enjoy this video knowing it's not totally crazy that we bought cars that were so similar on paper yet so different.
Yeah, I know when I showed up in that car to your house, she was like, they look the same. And he spent what? It's like,
yeah.
Yes.
Oddly, she wasn't the only one thinking that. I was a little freaked out.
She's not wrong, but this car, like, yeah. Let's go. I need a second to soak it in. Let's go get some cookies and debrief what we think about
I love it.
That sounds good. All right. So now we've driven SL65 and SLR. So, like, the thing that comes to mind is, like, initially the cost disparity was big.
Yeah.
I mean, 193 versus 500 grand is huge. Now it's even larger at, you know, $300-ish thousand and 50 grand.
Yeah.
Pretty massive numbers you're talking about. Still a big difference. However, it's like, I think the experience is different enough. What do you think?
They're definitely very different. Despite, oh yeah, the buttons are the same or whatever, and you've got all these fancy things like cup holders and Bluetooth. But yeah, no, I mean, they drive very different, but not in a, like, I really enjoy your car for what it is, and the price point it's at makes it, like, tremendously underrated. And I think the same is true as mine, even though, like, yes, at face value, they seem like they would be too duplicative.
So, totally. I think especially yours, given the context for the other cars in that car's segment.
Yeah.
The Enzo and the Carrera GT that it competes against. Now the Carrera GT is a $1.5 million car, and the Enzo's pushing 10 now. So, I think it delivers an experience that is. I haven't spent that much. I've been in the Carrera GT. I've ridden in Doug's a lot. I've driven a couple, but in very limited doses. I've never driven an Enzo, and I probably never will.
Yeah.
But the SLR delivers a special experience. That's the thing about it, is it's more special. Everything about it. The doors, the way it looks, the savagery of the power delivery.
Yeah.
It's been it's one of the cars that was malaligned for a long time.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing I wanted to ask you about, because we know about the brakes, and I think we can all agree if you use them, it's not that big a deal.
Right.
But what about the transmission? How do you, as Mr. Manual Swap himself, how do you feel about the transmission in that car?
Well, that is why I'm doing the E55 swap, is because, okay, yes, the M113 and the M159 are different, but they're also similar in a lot of ways. And so I just kind of want to know, what does a manual V8 AMG motor shift like as a manual? Some people have told me that's a huge mistake. Other people told me it'll be really fun. And so it's like, all right, well, let's figure that out on a low stakes vehicle like a $200,000 or 200,000 mile wagon with a check engine light, rather than a 7,000 mile SLR that's by far the nicest, most expensive car I've ever owned. So we'll see. I don't mind the automatic because it does help it retain what I like for it, which is its usability, its practicality, etc. Like, I can just get in and go, and my wife could get in and go in that car. But it is fun to roll your own gears, and you do wish that it had a more responsive paddle shift thing. Like you noted when you were driving it, it is keeping it a little lower in the rev band than I would like, and that was in sport mode. So, like, you just would kind of like, you can put it to manual and make it so that it doesn't take over, but it does feel like it was just like, it's not as good as automatics have gotten. And it's not like e-gear where it's an analog automatic either. It's kind of like that crappy in between where it's like not analog enough, it's not automated enough. It's kind of like the least of both worlds. I
would actually argue that in my car it feels almost more suited to it, because it is a little bit slow. The engine is not to be hurried. And in that car, you kind of just want to plant your foot and, get in front, get in that gap in traffic, right? Your car, you actually want to drive. And I think it's more of a hindrance in that regard. I'm sure there must be TCU tunes, or there might be
and I've looked into the TCU tune. I think I may eventually do that. There is also ECU tunes, but I don't think it really needs more power. It just needs the transmission to kind of cooperate. The other thing I've noticed is the throttle adapts to how you've been driving it. So if I drive it kind of meekly, then it starts to keep it in the higher gears rather, and the lower RPMs. And I think I've been doing a lot of that recently. So versus like when I first got it, Hoovy must have been just driving the crap out of it because it was just ready to go. So I think you can kind of wake it up or reset the throttle probably to get it to be a little bit more aggressive there.
Interesting. Mine's adaptive as well. And after everybody's driven it now, it downshifts very quickly. It's snappy. It wants to go. So what do you think? So what do you think is the biggest drawback of the SL65 having driven it? What's the biggest thing you dislike about it?
I don't have any complaints. I thought it was fantastic. I I wanted to buy one before. I still want one. I guess you've scratched that itch for me, but like my only complaint would be worry about the downstream maintenance.
Yeah.
So I'd want to buy one that was well maintained, that has documentation, that I kind of like, I would buy the seller more than buy the car kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because like otherwise it's freaking fantastic for like what people pay for them, what the comps I've seen go, like that's pretty impressive. And like that V12 is special. So I'm all about it. Like I don't really have any complaints. I would say it's too many cup holders.
Too many creature comforts.
That key situation's a little confusing. I don't like, I mean, is it in, is it out, is it on?
Right.
What else? The hood kind of opens weird, like it.
Too much
the hinging
access.
on the hood is the wrong way.
Too much access. You want to gatekeep like Filippo gatekeeps the
Yeah,
Italian
yeah,
language. I get it. I think with the thing, I feel the same way about the SLR. I think it's been a tragically malaligned car. I do think it has some weak points, the transmission being the biggest one. And both of them, the carrying costs are extensive. Like, if you, like in your video where you pointed out, like taking it to the dealer is where a lot of that reputation comes from. But even so, like the material cost of some of like just the componentry is expensive. Luckily, there are SL components in both of them, so some of the stuff that is maybe flimsier, like you replace the window, like
the adjustment for the rear view mirrors.
Okay, same as in all R230s from that clapped SL500 over there, or SL550. It's the same. But yeah, I like that. I like that. Both of them, I think, feel solid. Like, really solid.
Yeah, I think Mercedes puts together a really nice car, even though McLaren technically assembled mine. But like, you get that Mercedes quality of that era before they kind of became a little more cheap. So they both feel like really strong, stout, solid cars that also happen to be high performance cars. And I would say the Murcielago, I always compare everything to it because I had that so long. It didn't have that same solid, well-built feeling to it. It was sort of like a giant motor with a car kind of wrapped around it, versus like Mercedes seems like they were really paying attention to some of those details that Lambo was like, throw a couple shims in it and tighten it up, no one will notice.
Call it a day.
Good enough.
Good enough, good stuff. Looks good on a poster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I certainly agree with that. Well, thank you for letting me drive your car. It's been, that's quite an experience. I'm glad we got to compare them both back to back. They are different enough to be, I think they're appropriate in their given price segments. I think the SLR is a little bit undervalued.
I think they're both undervalued.
Yeah, I think that...
obviously, we're both owners and very biased in saying that, but I would buy yours in a heartbeat if I were at that price point, and I would buy mine again at my price point. Like, they're different, they're cool, they're both awesome.
Both awesome, both fast. Mercedes boys for life, you know?
That's right, that's right.
Right.
What are we doing next? You're getting a Viper?
Absolutely.
I just passed on my Viper truck.
Oh, but you're going to find one.
That would have been cool. We'll have to twin again soon.
You're going to find one, and then we will twin again. But that's, Viper's next.
We'll see how long it takes you, and then maybe I'll keep an eye open for me as well.
Okay.
Take your time.
You do that, Nick. Have fun lowballing people.
That's right.
Lowball a couple for me.
I got to get back to work here. Lowball some people.
So ultimately, these cars are very different, but they end up at the same place.
The gas station.
Or the service center. It's very true. Your car is thirsty. What do you usually get miles per gallon with?
8 to 10, pretty much no matter how I drive it. Maybe closer to 8 if I drive it the way I want to.
Yeah, I'm sort of in the same boat, to be honest with you. That's what they're for, though. Miles per gallon?
That's right.
High. Very high, though. Well, thank you so much for letting me drive the SLR, Nick. What a machine.
And likewise, this was a very impressive car that exceeded my expectations.
Good. So you're not sad that this one cost a fraction? You feel a little bit more secure now in your purchase of the SLR?
I feel good about both of them. I'm actually only sad that this is leaving our family, our car group, because it is a special car.
Well, I'm sad too, but don't be too sad because something very cool will be coming along shortly, I'm very sure. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll talk to you very soon.
Bye.
Goodbye.